All right, let's dive in. One of the world's biggest crypto hubs is basically tearing up its own rulebook. That's right, Dubai just hit a massive reset button on its entire crypto framework. So today, we're going to break down exactly what's changing, why it matters, and what this whole thing might signal for the future of digital assets everywhere. So, January 12th. That was the day. The Dubai Financial Services Authority, you'll hear them called the DFSA, rolled out a huge update for the city's big deal financial free zone, the DIFC. And look, this isn't just some minor policy tweak. This is a fundamental overhaul. It completely redefines the rules of the game for every single crypto firm operating there.
Okay, so what does this reset actually mean on the ground? For the firms, the investors, the traders in the DIFC. The whole landscape has really shifted. Let's walk through the three biggest changes that you absolutely need to know about. First up, and this one is a biggie, is a complete 180 on who gets to approve new tokens. The regulator is actually stepping back, and the responsibility, it's now shifting squarely onto the crypto firms themselves. Think of it like this. Before, the regulator was the ultimate gatekeeper, right? They had to painstakingly look at and approve every single token one by one. It was slow and, it could even look like an official endorsement. But now the regulator is more like a referee. They're just setting the rules of the game, and it's up to the firms, the players, to prove their tokens meet those standards. The pressure is entirely on them now. So why such a dramatic shift? Well, according to the DFSA's own Elizabeth Wallace, the industry actually asked for it. She said that firms felt the market had matured, that they had matured, and they wanted the power to make these calls themselves. So in short, this is the regulator basically saying, okay, the industry is growing up.
All right, the next major change takes aim at one of crypto's oldest ideals, privacy. Dubai is drawing a very clear line in the sand here, and the message is loud and clear. Total anonymity just doesn't have a place inside its regulated financial center.
So what does this mean? It means those privacy-focused coins, like Monero and Zcash, are now officially off limits for any regulated firm. They can't be traded, they can't be promoted, and they definitely can't be included in any investment funds in the DIFC. Now sure, you can technically still hold them in your own private wallet, but they're effectively blacklisted from the entire formal financial system there. And the ban goes even deeper than just the coins themselves. The DFSA is also prohibiting any tools that are designed to hide where transactions come from. This is squarely aimed at services we know as mixers or tumblers. These are tools that basically just scramble up crypto transactions to make them impossible to trace. This, of course, raises a pretty big question. Why the crackdown? I mean, privacy has been a core principle for so many people in the crypto world for so long. So why is a major financial hub like Dubai drawing such a firm line against it?
Well, it all boils down to one thing: global compliance. There's this international watchdog for anti-money laundering called the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF. Their rules demand that financial firms have to be able to trace transactions from the sender all the way to the receiver. And as the DFSA points out, the entire design of privacy tokens makes this, nearly impossible. So this ban, it isn't just some local rule. It's about Dubai getting in line with the rest of the regulated financial world.
Okay, on to the third and final pillar of this big reset. And it tackles one of the most important and, let's be honest, controversial parts of crypto: stablecoins. The DFSA is getting way, way stricter about what can and what cannot be called stable. The regulator has actually created a brand new official category, the fiat crypto token. And trust me, this is not just a name change. It's a super strict definition. To even qualify, a stablecoin has to be pegged to a fiat currency, like the US dollar, and its reserves have to be held in high-quality liquid assets that are denominated in that exact same currency. That last part is key. Let's break that down real quick. So a token's got to be pegged to a real-world currency, its reserves have to be in that same currency, and it needs to be backed by assets that can be sold off quickly if needed. This is a direct shot at what are called algorithmic stablecoins. The ones that try to hold their value using fancy code and financial engineering instead of actual real-world assets. The regulator is clearly saying, nope, too risky for us. And the real-world impact of this is pretty significant. You've got your well-backed stablecoins like Circle's USDC, they get the official seal of approval. But others, like the super popular DAI or some of these newer projects like Ethena, they get pushed into a completely different category. Now, they're not banned, but by being reclassified as just a standard crypto token, they lose that perception of safety. They're basically treated just like any other volatile crypto asset. So, after going through all these nitty-gritty changes, let's zoom out. What's the bigger picture here? Why does this regulatory reset in a city halfway across the world actually matter for the global crypto landscape?
So what should you really take away from all this? First, crypto is being pulled into the financial mainstream. Dubai is basically saying that if you want to be a serious financial player, you've got to play by the global rules on transparency, period. Second, the training wheels are coming off. Regulators are looking at crypto firms and saying you're mature enough now to take full responsibility for your own products. And third, the Wild West era, it's pretty much over. The future is about integrating with the traditional financial system, not trying to replace it.
And that leaves all of us with a really crucial question for the entire industry. Is this the new model for crypto regulation? A future with fewer gatekeepers at the front door, but way more accountability for what happens inside? A world where innovation is still encouraged, but the consequences of getting it wrong fall squarely on the innovator. Dubai has made its move, and you can bet the rest of the world is watching very, very closely.